your fan base was very split on this. It's interesting that you say that because I agree with you. I was almost to a fault pro Harbaugh. I was not afraid of Rich Rod. I laughed at Brady Hoke. But I'm an objective guy. I'm biased, but I can.
Yeah, you're real objective.
No.
I'm looking around the studio, and there's like Spartan knives on the wall.
A Leonidas replica.
Yeah.
No, I try to be objective when it comes to the risk assessment of my enemy, for lack of a better term, because it doesn't do Michigan State any good to underestimate foes. I think that's actually kind of what you guys have been really good at for the last 15 years, and that's, I think, has hurt you in the football rivalry. A different story, different day. But I'm with you on this, where this Harbaugh, this like mystery door number 2, if they were going to get Matt Rule, which there were some whispers that he missed college or whatever, something, okay, like maybe I would actually, if I were a Michigan fan, would probably even prefer Matt Rule, younger, more progressive in that area. But for the most part, I think door number 2, any viable door number 2, was a lot less appealing than Jim Harbaugh for a lot of the reasons you mentioned. The guy has won consistently. Has he been a disappointment from a 7-year view of Michigan? I would expect it a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think honestly, saying he's a disappointment, it does kind of a disservice in this respect. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because Ohio State has been on a unbelievable run over the last 20 years. I mean, perhaps the greatest 20-year stretch in Big Ten history of any school. Right. And so they've gone out, Ryan Day, and it's so funny that we're so disappointed with Ryan Day. The guy's won 20 out of 21 Big Ten games.
Oh, yeah. I make fun of them all the time. He's like 34-2 and they're pissed.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And so, of course, would you like to beat Michigan State more? Sure. Would you like to beat Notre Dame more? Sure. Would you definitely like to beat Ohio State more? Absolutely. But we have to put it in context that the game's a lot harder than it was in the 1980s, where you've got 3 real games a year, right? I mean, the lowering of scholarship limits, the nationalization of television rights has totally changed it. And it's a lot harder to win at Michigan now than it was in 1985, right? It just is. And I think that given those parameters and given all the things that Jim had to go through, I think, I think at the end of the day, his record is very good and very comparable to the best years of Lloyd Carr, the best years of Bo Schembechler. I know people, Bo Schembechler didn't want to win a lot of bowl games either, but at the end of the day, I think he's performed up to historic standards. Would I like to see him win more Big Ten championships before he retires? Of course. Who wouldn't? I'm sure Jim Harbaugh would tell you he'd want to see us win more Big Ten championships before he retires. But I think that calling him a disappointment just overstates a little bit. And the other part is your team has also had a phenomenal stretch over the last few years,
that's part of the answer, though. It's part of why I frame it as disappointment. For one, I think their habit of moving to the goalposts, I can't speak for you individually, but for your fan base, the people that I've been exposed to, and I know what I said when you guys hired Harbaugh. Oh, shit, they're going to win national titles. The tweet's still out there. Someone could verify this. I said they were going to win multiple national titles with Jim Harbaugh as the head coach at University of Michigan. Now it's like, oh, he's restored it to Lloyd Carr. That was not what we were sold. That's not what I thought would happen. And Michigan State, from the institution of the Big Ten title game in 2011, went to, 3 title games in 5 years, winning 2? Harbaugh's been here 7 and has been and won 1. So if Michigan State, with smaller resources, lesser tradition, lesser of a brand, can go 3 times in 5 years and you've been once in 7, that, to me, is a disappointment. I'm sorry, but I mean, it's an objective measure 60 miles away from you. It's done better with less. I'm calling that a disappointment.